Yeah. So now we are faced in Sri Lanka what you called a typical situation of energy crisis. That's why we are losing electricity. So we do understand. I mean, even most lectures also cancel, but I'm not going to cancel my lecture because of the electricity issue. I will do it. What I was explaining. Anyway, since this lecture is recording, and I will upload soon after this lecture. So whoever the people who couldn't participate this because of the power issue, whatever the concerns, they will not lose this lesson because anyway it's recorded or recording, and you will be able to listen. Okay, right. So the structure of this chapter, capital budgeting is very obviously a vital activity in business. Vast sums of money can be easily wasted in the if the investment turns out of be wrong or uneconomic. The subject matter is difficult to grasp by nature of the topic covered and also because of the mathematical content involved. However, it seeks to build the concept of the future value of money which may be spent now. It does this by examining the techniques of net present value, internal rate of return and annuities, the time of cash flow and important in new investment decisions. And so the chapter took the payback concept, one problem which plagued developing countries is an inflation rate which can in some cases exceeded 100% per annum. The chapter, ends by showing how marketers can take this into account. So capital budgeting versus current expenditure. So I will explain few topics. A capital investment project can be distinguished from the current expenditures by two features. A, such projects are relatively large. B, a significant period of time, more than 1 year, elapsed between the investment outlays and the receipt of the benefits. As a result, most medium-sized and large organizations have developed special procedures and methods for dealing with these decisions. A systematic approach to capital budgeting implies. A, the formulation of long-term goals. B, the creative search for and identification of new investment opportunities. C, classification of project and recognition of economically and or statistically dependent proposals. D, the estimation and forecasting of current and future cash flows. E, a suitable administrative framework capable of transferring the required information to the decision level. F, the controlling of expenditure and careful monitoring of crucial aspects of project execution. The G, a set of decision rules which can differentiate acceptable from unacceptable alternative is required. The large point G is crucial and the subject of a later session of the chapter. We will discuss that. So these are very theoretical things, students. I mean, these theories are there. I must explain. But what I will do, as I started the lecture, like with my life, practical experiences, then and there, when it comes to these practical things, I will explain more practical and what I have done. Then you will not get bored. But the thing is, this theoretical part of the subject is very boring. What to do? It's a subject. So we don't have any other option because I have to teach these things because I have to cover the syllabus and these theoretical parts are there. That's why I'm asking you. I'm telling you since I am uploading this. Presentations in advance, so ask questions. So I haven't shared this screen. I have got a message. These are some notes. This what I'm explaining now is not shared. But if you need after this, I will put these additional notes to LMS in order you to have a look. The classification of investment projects, I mean, it can be a couple of ways by project size. Small project can be approved by departmental managers. More careful analyzing and board directors approval is need for large projects of say $500,000 or more. I mean, it's not a benchmark for $500,000 or more. It depends on the, I mean, the company's capacity. So $500,000 in Sri Lankan terms is a very big amount of money. But when it comes to, I mean, companies like which I worked last 10, 15 years overseas, $500,000 is peanuts. It's nothing because you can't pay the salaries from $500,000. You saw the budgets. I mean, I shared with you how much was the salary budget. So $500,000 mean is peanuts. So B, by type of benefits to the firm, an increase in cash flow, a decrease in risk, and indirect benefits showers for workers, etc. Number C, by degree of dependence, mutual exclusive project can exclude project, complementary projects, taking projects. These are high theory things, guys. Let's go to time value of money. Recall that the interaction lenders will borrow sets an equilibrium rate of interest. Borrowing is only worthwhile if the return of the loan exceeds the cost of the borrowing funds. Lending is only worthwhile if the return is at least equal that which can be obtained from alternative opportunities in the same risk class. That means, students, now if you take a bank loan or a term loan for a particular project of a company, so the return from the project need to be more than that. Okay, assuming the interest rate is 20%. Now, when it comes to international levels, they take it LIBOR, London Interbank Offer Rate. So just note down this and have do a Google search. What is LIBOR? LIBOR. So not like I mean in Sri Lanka also a couple of loans you can negotiate with the banks with LIBOR rates, London Interbanking Offer Rates. Generally, if you take a housing loan, so that rates maybe, I don't know the recent rate, maybe 17% or something like that. Anyway, the thing is what they explain is you should get a return more than that. I think last week I mentioned you the example of this Mauritius Commercial Bank, what they mentioned during the time when I was at Sun Travels. Am I correct? I explained you, I mean, they mentioned to that time my boss was Mr. Siam. He has to work for another 4 or 5 years for the bank in order to pay the loans. Did I explain that example? I think I explained that example to you or some other batch. Can you recall that example? Just tell me if I haven't explained that example, then I can explain it to you. Okay. So that time I was the group finance and business support manager for Sun Travels. And did I mention you regarding syndicate loans? I think because since I'm having a couple of badges, I don't know the same examples and same life stories I'm explaining to my students. That's why I'm, in order you to not to be boring of my examples or lifetime experiences. I think, did I mention you syndicate loan, a concept called syndicate loan? I syndicate loan කියලා මොන හරි එකක් කිව්වද කිසුමයි? Just type your answer, please. Otherwise, I don't know.
No, sir.
Sorry. Just put yes or no in the chat room. Syndicate loan ගැන මොන හරි මං කිව්වද? හරි නෑ. Syndicate loan, okay. What happened was I was that time group finance and business support manager for Sun Travels. They are having a Pasiguda project. now it's a running resort. In Maldives also, they had, still they are having 4 resorts, plus any other business like Oman Air, PSA. A lot of businesses, because the owner is a parliamentarian of Maldivian government called Siam, Mohammed Siam. So that time, what happened was, we had to, because of the bad cash flow situation, the loans had to be rescheduled, and we had obtained a syndicate loan. Syndicate loan, just note down this name if you haven't, if this is the first time you are going to hear this, syndicate loan. So syndicate loans, generally Bank of Maldives, that was the prime bank in Maldives. Bank of Maldives, they couldn't afford that much of loan, because it's also the liquidity percentage of bank is having, whatever the bank or organization, they're having a thing called, a theory called liquidity. Their liquidity percentage was so much low in order to cater this loan. So what they did, they signed agreements with a couple of other banks in order to facilitate this loan to us. So one party was Mauritius Commercial Bank. Then other 2 parties were there from Sri Lanka, is Hat National Bank and Sampath Bank. So when it comes to this renegotiation, so rescheduling and renegotiation, all these comes when it goes to non-performing status of a loan. It means you are not in a position to pay the loan on a particular time, and then there are loan arrears, and you feel when you prepare a cash flow forecast, you will be not in a position to pay for another couple of years, maybe months. So then you have to reschedule the loan. So what happened this time, then the Bank of Maldives, they invited this Mauritius Commercial Bank, Sampath Bank, and the Hat National Bank top people to physically present in Maldives. Then I participated. I was in my capacity as the Group Finance and Business Support Manager. Then top of me, I had my Director of Finance called Mr. Simon Griffith, an Australian gentleman. And then apart from that, another 2 people participated from the company side, is Mr. Siam and the Sales and Marketing Director. Then we went there. Then the Mauritius Commercial Bank representative was there. Then Sampath Bank representative and Hat National Bank representative, plus the representatives of Bank of Maldives. So what happened, I mean, finally, a lot of arguments and cash flows, all these things we had prepared, and we have submitted to them in advance in order them to go through that. Then they went through all these things. They asked a lot of questions. Then finally, they were so much happy. They were not happy, but they agreed to give us an extension period, and they agreed to reschedule the loan. They agreed to reschedule. So soon before the meeting was finished, I didn't talk because I couldn't talk anything, because it was beyond my capacity. I was just presenting and submitting this information to my Director of Finance, Mr. Simon. That's the only thing I could, but I had to participate for the meeting, and I just kept quiet because it's a very high level meeting, even in my capacity as well. So finally, this Mauritius Commercial Bank, the guy, that gentleman, he told, what do you mean by Tissuri plus and minus? What is this question? Can you explain, please? Tissuri, Tarushi Seumini, what you have put in this chat room? Can you explain your question? I'm asking this from Tarushi Seumini. She has put a message in chat room. Plus and minus. What do you mean, daughter? Either you can type or on your mic and ask me. What do you expect me to do? Okay, what happened was, then finally this Mauritius Commercial Bank, that gentleman, he told to Mr. Siam, you will have to work another couple of years for us. So that's, I'm linking that to my what I explained here now. It means the return need to be more than the bank loan. or bank loan interest. Otherwise, you are just end of the project is funding, just running the business for the sake of for the bank purposes. You just earn your money, hardly earn money, and you pay the bank loan. Simple like that. If you have any questions, if you have any technical difficulties of switching on your mics, just put in the chat box. Tarushi, still I would like to answer to your question. I can't understand what you put this plus and minus. What do you mean? Okay. So the time value of money, I mentioned you. Then future values, compound interest. I think compound interest, last week I explained you a very lengthy way the compound interest. And I mentioned you the formulas as well. So here, I don't think we need to much use the time to do these calculations, because I told you I will emphasize and share my presentations to you which useful for your life. Which life means there are two life. Last week I gave you a lot of examples also. You have two life. One is your personal life, because definitely you will need to buy a car and you need to build a house. That's your personal commitment. Then the second thing is in your capacity for your jobs. Then you should know how to do your job. Then as a lecturer, what I supposed to do is to guide you guys in the practical situations, how to handle the practical situations, then which will ease for your life to live peacefully and have the required knowledge. Because this is not just, a degree is not like advanced level qualifications. You need to have the qualifications, but end of the day, once you finish this degree, you need to do a job and you need to survive. That is our duties as lecturers to teach you. So teaching is theoretical parts we have to teach you. It's very boring. So it's, whether we like or not, we have to learn those things, because there's no other option. And the other thing is you need to know theories in order to pass the exams. That's also must. Continuous assessments and end semester exams, you must understand, you should have the knowledge. So those things compulsory, but certain things I will emphasize, as I mentioned, certain things I will emphasize is practical lifetime experiences in order you to win your life. So yesterday, Dr. Shamini has sent an email. She's asking, one second, let me share you, because I share that same thing with the previous batch also. Yes. Yeah. So here this advanced principles of finance 3C, it means your batch. So what I have proposed, still I'm waiting for the approval from Dr. Shamini. So visit to Colombo Stock Exchange or an awareness education session regarding share market operation. That's the thing I have proposed for your batch. So the previous other two badges, this corporate sustainability accounting, I will take them to Lanka Industrial Estate in Sapugastanda or Les Spring Bottlers to teach them the practical way of corporates, how they comply in corporate social responsibility, CSR. Then this advanced, then this third year batch, financial reporting and disclosure, this is purely based on the accounting standards. So for them, there will be a panel discussion with the chartered accountants. One chartered accountant will be from Sri Lanka, who's having audit firm and leading audit partner. Then plus another two practitioners working as chartered accountants who are practitioners. one from Sri Lanka, one from overseas. Then that exposure, they will explain. So your batch, this advanced principles of finance, what I have proposed, if I get this approval, then it will be a visit to Colombo Stock Exchange based on these health restrictions. Or if they not if I am unable to get the approval, definitely I will take a few senior people in stock brokering, and I will help you to get link how to do a regarding awareness and educational session regarding share market operation, because this is for your life. Because apart from the continuous assessment, this is also requested by activity-based continuous assessment update. Yesterday, Dr. Shamini asked, not only from me, from all the lectures, so I propose this. So try to understand, students, how we are trying to help you for your personal life as well as your official life. So this is going to be a very win-win situation for you to win your life. Win-win situation to win your life. So do you have any questions? If you have any questions, I'm willing to answer. We can give you a couple of minutes. Because even though without electricity also, I didn't stop your lecture. Where's Surakshana today? I saw. Any questions? Okay, if you don't have any questions, so we will finish the lecture today, and we will continue the same topic next week, same time. Okay, have a nice weekend, guys.